my name is Darren Akoragye. I am a multimedia visual artist based in Kampala. I work with various medias like graphic design, digital art, illustration, ink drawing, watercolor, printmaking, and ceramics. Watch my episode at Being ARTSY series on YouTube. See there.
ARTSY is a web series / podcast where we're having conversations with creative artists, talking about their art form, their life's experiences, and social issues as pertaining to the art. We are redefining the arts, producing knowledge on different art forms, and also in turn fostering a community of creative artists.
tujaza bakabiwa neba conversation osobola omanya n'okuyiga ye intention ati wali talina recognition ngatabavubuka bamukola tulina mission.
Hey, welcome to the show. Darren, abantu bagamba. People say artists mufunira muwa. People are always asking me, Edna, but artists bafunira muwa. Even with ARTSY, they are just like, Edna, kati mu ARTSY, what do you say? What mufunira muwa? What makes you at the start? Yeah, you're self-taught. Yeah, mostly. But like, I'm sure, as we're growing up there, we have our own ambitions or not. It's also okay. Your parents have ambitions for you. Everyone, like, expectations of the world and how it is. What made you pursue an art form? That's where it's not the default, widely acknowledged path.
For most adults in this country.
Yeah.
I think artists, the payout that artists receive is, in my opinion, both monetary and not monetary, like that in which you cannot put into monetary terms.
It's not enough money that can.
You get like it's because it's a practice. What it is, I think, the same way athletes practice every day. Same with art. For me, I think, and if you're constantly building, you're seeing growth in something, that is also value, but it's not monetary, right? And yeah, there's also monetary benefit with being an artist. You can do so many things with your time, and then you can do so many things with your time, and you can also experiment with so many mediums, which is nice. Like, it feels good to try different stuff, different ways of expressing yourself. You also get the benefit of having an outlet. Most people don't have an outlet. You take everything in, all the grief, all the sadness, all the pain, everything that's happening in your life, and you have no outlet. That builds up somehow in you.
Yeah, creativity as an outlet. Yeah. Speaking of just different forms of expression, you are a visual artist, and you use color, you use water paint, you use all of these things, and then I was asking you the right term for, can I say experiment with lines? I don't know what that is, the official term is. But what I find special also about your art is that you've also used skin as canvas. Tell us a little bit about where that comes from. Why did you decide to be like, okay, people have canvas, there's walls, there's what, I'm going to take it a notch higher? Because it's not quite, you're not a tattoo artist, you're not like a henna artist, visual artist, but you're using skin as canvas as well.
Well, my journey with using skin as canvas started, I think skin as canvas, even as a child, you used to get your pen and you draw on yourself some flowers, and you call that a tattoo. That has always been a thing. And because I think my work uses lots of lines and patterns and repetition, drawing on skin wasn't scary for me. And I was introduced to it through my friend Nina, who is a body artist. And we met and we shared a studio in 2022.
Okay.
So she basically, this is she also does work with lines and patterns, and she saw my work and she was like, you can do this as well. I hadn't tried it yet, which is also why community is important in the art space. People around you open up so many doors to so many other things. So Nina literally said you can do it too. In the studio, we would paint on each other, practice on each other before we went out to gigs to paint on people, like where we met, for example. Using skin as a canvas is also quite interesting, because now you have to get into people's personal space.
Well, as personal as it gets. Yeah.
Yes, you literally have to be. And then it also, I like it because it like, when the person sits at your chair to get worked on, usually they say, I trust you, or they come with an idea of what they want or when they want it. And we usually go off energy. It's energy. They're like, I want it here, or I want blue, or I like yellow. And then it's now upon the artist to decide what pattern goes. And it's so intuitive. I never know what I'm going to do, which is amazing. Like I start and
the energy I do. Yeah. I'm curious, are there people who are just like, no, I wanted this, and then it comes out a certain way, and then they're pretty set on it? Because I've always found that, especially all artists, all art is not confined in a box. It's not like an equation where X plus Y is equal to this. And as an artist, also a person receiving or consuming the art, you have to be open to where it leads you. Like you say, you don't know where it starts. As a writer, I know you start a story somewhere and it just leads you. Yeah. Sometimes it makes you stop, and then then you come back to it. Are there people who are like, oh my God, I wanted this? When you're doing that, for example, Palestinian side and Congo, I expected it to be in like the basic shade, of the flag. And then when it came out as that, I was like, oh, this is interesting. But that's me. And then people were like, Darren, I wanted that flag.
Of course, in every field, you always have a difficult client. And in business, they say customer is king. I studied business. So customer is king. If you don't like it, we shall get wipes. We shall wipe it off, and we do something that you like. But nine times out of 10, we do a good job.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. I notice your work takes themes of also the depictions of the African identity and expression, even like African form, if I may, of the human form and expression. Is that a thing that's important to you, that you or is it that sometimes it's a vibe when you come in to it?
Well, I that's something I'd also not noticed about my work for a while. I was using African bodies as inspiration for my work. And I do think it's something that's important to me because these are the bodies of the people that are around me. And there's a lot of representation of all the other bodies in the world, and I don't know, they're not around me that much. So the people that I see, I get inspired by the people that I see every day, the conversations that I have. Yeah. So during my residency, one of the ladies that work at 32 was helping me rewrite my artist statement, and I had said I use, she wrote it, she saw mine and she revised it. And what she wrote said, I use, I'm interested in particularly Africanness. She called it identity. Is that the word?
Yeah, she didn't say identity?
No. Yeah, it's identity, but focusing specifically somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm going to look for the word. It'll come to me.
Yeah.
So I think
even subconsciously you are just,
indeed. A lot of things are connected, and that's also what my lines teach me as I make them, that eventually they will connect. Like sometimes I have no clue where it's going, and it will go around the whole page and it will connect.
I see you, and I see even the way that you present. You are such an artist, even in the hair, the beads, the necklace, the back, and everything. And I know that in this society, especially, it's whether it is the culture thing, our culture thing, or just not being exposed enough. There's a lot of people who you have simple shells in your hair, and then it will be like, oh my God, are you know, this is some witchcraft stuff. And I'm just like, what was the first form of currency? Wasn't in the cowrie shell? Do you find that outside of artist spaces, when you show up, there's a lot of people who are like, yeah, what's going on? Oh my God, all of these things. Like, what's your experience with that?
Of course, there's a lot of judgment. I actually had cowrie shells before I put in the bead, and during that time, I got a lot of feedback from the public on how I was presenting. But I always give grace to that kind of judgment, because I know it's not coming from like a terrible place. You're just worried because if you had done it, that's how you would have felt. But like, it's okay. Like,
and it's projecting,
yeah,
a little bit, yeah,
projecting. But like, I show grace. Like, it's okay. But we don't, all like the same thing. Also, my mom prefers, I guess she preferred like neater hair to like more for
that generation. Like, yeah.
It is what it is. So even my aunt, she was like, when I had the cowrie shells in, she literally said, do you know where the cowrie shells are?
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then like, I thought to myself, I was like, what? Like the lake? Right? Isn't that like God's creation? What are we trying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there'll always be something to be said about someone else's look, But as long as the being who is in that look is comfortable, I think it's, there's no judgment.
Entering a space that's interesting, we're hearing NFTs, and honestly, like, even I'm just like, okay, they're digital assets, but like, I'm just like, what is that about? So for me and other people who don't know what NFTs are, maybe other artists, maybe just consumers of the art, what is that going like for you, and what is the essence of it? Even a small, like.
So what NFTs are non-fungible tokens, and they are digital assets, right? So you can sell anything, a picture, anything that can be in a digital form, that is JPEG, PNG, PDF, that dot something, that format, that's a digital asset. And you can sell that. It can be sound, a video, it could be anything literally that can be put onto a digital media and consumed. And what I like about NFTs is what they're literally there to help with ownership and licensing and royalties for creators of these set items. Because usually what happens, even mostly here in Africa, is that you get art collectors from like Italy, from Spain, around the world, or anyway, it could even be from South Africa, Nigeria. And they'll come and they'll buy your work, and then when they take your work, they'll buy it at like a price that I guess you would be okay with, right? And then they'll take it and sell it at an exorbitant increment, and not give you that exactly. And so because in the NFT space, you will always be the owner of the asset. You can sell it, but when it is sold, you still have ownership in if it's sold again, you can collect royalties, like a certain percentage of that. So it's really good for creators of any kind who would want to monetize their work and still feel safe selling the digital assets and know where the assets will be. Also, you also know who has your work all the time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's a good space.
It is. Sounds like it serves the creator for one.
Yeah.
Thank
you. Indeed. And there are not many spaces like that.
Yeah. You're talking about collaboration, and I also know that you mentioned earlier about doing a residency at 32 degrees space. And we shout out to 32 degrees. There's our people. Artists are our people. Other people have to pay, but yeah. And then I also know that during the Kla Art Festival, you were doing a little bit of volunteer, a lot of volunteering. Yeah. Why is it important? Because I think that artists could be collaborators essentially, but because we operate in a space where it's capitalism, it's corporate culture, it's do my work alone and climb the ladder, I think some artists take on that energy and kind of I'm doing my own thing, I'm not working with anybody. Why do you think collaboration is important? Why do you think going into such a space and participating in arts events, working with other artists is important?
One is that you get to learn so much. Because as you said, we are in such an individualistic society. Do this, climb the ladder, it's you. When you get money, buy land on top of a hill and fence it and live there by yourself, right? Because you have money. But well, if you are to actually look at what creativity is and what it does, is that it combines different knowledge wells. Yeah. It combines different knowledge wells to bring out something that you could not have seen maybe had you not combined those wells. So combination and collaboration is something that is so important, especially for creatives, because yes, you know a lot. We're not second guessing your skill set or your education. You know a lot, but people also know a lot, right? And there's so much that you can learn from people that we take for granted. And there's so many other ways in which your experience collaborating with someone else can build you or propel you in another direction, which you even hadn't seen coming. So I think collaboration is very important because there's even this African saying that if you want to go near, go alone. If you want to go far, go with people or something like that. And there's actual truth in that because when you're collaborating, because even just workspaces, artists, me as a visual artist, usually I work alone, right? I have a studio in which I have my own goals to meet, but everything is my schedule, right? But I've shared studio space before, as I've said, and I can notice the difference of me working by myself and me working in community with other people. There's some advantages to being by yourself, but there's also many advantages of being with community. For example, there's you can do way more, first of all, because like now it's not just you, now it's you and other people. So the way I keep on saying, I do so many things, I want to divide myself into 15 people. You can have those 15 people if you collaborate, right? Someone can be working on this, working on that, working on this, and everything comes together to form a bigger picture. There's also power in collective dreaming. Like if we are all dreaming towards something together, there's more chances of it happening than if it's just me dreaming.
Yeah. And I found that being in community with other creators gives me hope. I think that's one of the most, if I could put the entire experience in a succinct way, I would say hope, because I think or is already when you have chosen a path that's not the status quo? There's like so many questions. There are days where I'm just like, what am I even doing? Why can't I just get an office job, pursue, become manager, communications manager, or corporate level, all the way, right? So Uganda, he traversed to Nairobi. Why? You know? But yeah, I think when you get together with other creative artists, you're like, okay, this is why we do it. I also have community. I want to ask you what your hopes are for, let's say, start with the visual arts, but also the creative industry in this country.
In East Africa.
Okay, in the region. Let's go.
Because this country it's big, but it's small.
It is very small. Yeah.
So, my hopes, first of all, for, you said this country,
the visual art, your art form,
and then
in this country or even the region. Yeah.
So, for the visual arts, my hopes, I think, are to have more people in the space. You know, there's this mentality of scarcity that I see everywhere. It's ingrained.
You don't want to be the only woman in that.
No, I really do.
Yeah,
I have many other women.
Yeah,
are doing this work, and I think we need to change that. My hope is that we can move to a future where we, as creators, visual art, all the arts, musical, the film, everyone can collaborate and appreciate what everyone brings to the table. And I hope that we can grow to know that, like, we are very abundant beings. Like, as I say, scarcity mindset. Please let's release that. Let us release that, because there is enough space for everyone. There is enough space for your work to be consumed. There is enough listeners for your podcast to be heard. There is enough. Okay. Yeah. So that's one of my hopes, that
abundance.
Yeah, we can get an abundance mindset going on in this field. And then for the region, I would love to see way more collaboration and consumption of art from the countries with each other. Like, I want to know what Rwandan artists are singing or drawing or exhibiting. I want to know what Tanzanian artists are doing, what Kenyan artists are doing. I want to see more collaboration in the space, and collaboration and consumption by the people, because we are all we have.
I know your work. I'm sure a couple of artists know your work as well. If someone is watching and they're like, okay, I want to see what they're doing, if someone wants to commission you, wants to perhaps visit the studio when you're not in your zone, see your work, where can we find you?
My Instagram socials. I have 2 Instagram accounts, which I would like to shout out to. There is Akoragye Create, which has my visual art. So you'll find most of my paintings there, all the work that I do creatively. And then there's Akoragye Lives, which is an archive of my pictures and videos and the way I've been living, just finding a place to put my pictures and stuff. So yeah, you can follow me in both of those. And my studio is still a home studio, so I'm not yet accepting visitors, but soon I'm looking for space actually, and I'll be letting you know where I'm located, where you can find me, but mostly Instagram would be a quick way to get to me. Yeah.
Thank you, Darren, for coming to the show.
Thank you so much. I've had such a good time.
Tujaza bakabiwa never conversation osobola omanya n'okuyiga ye intention ati wali talina recognition gataba vubuka bamukola tulina mission ARTSY katejira benga platform egendo kuteka artistic gwe ku form sibya kubuza mbuno gwe owasadi ziri interviews babuza ofumbirwa di tujaza bakabiwa never conversation osobola manya no kujigaye intention ati wali talina recognition